So, unfortunately, now we get the localized bit, because how does it work here? Well, kind of in the last couple of years, it hasn't. There has been no real good social trading. There has been, Global Trader did launch a service a couple of years ago where you can follow or see what some of the traders are doing. So, I mean, that does exist. And Sanlam iTrade had a social trade where everybody voted which stocks to buy, and then they gave away the profits to charity. So there are guys who do run manual systems. We are one of them for our clients where we auto-execute, but we haven't really, nobody's really done it to the degree of the eToros, the Zulu Trade, the currencies in the past. But I think that is starting to change, that landscape's changing. And one of the providers, and it's a provider that we've partnered with now, is a crowd called Mirrorverse. So you can go onto their website, and they are launching next month, and they are bringing some of this technology. And we like the technology, so we partnered with them as a stockbroker. So we will be rolling out Mirrorverse to our clients as an option, but on specific trade leaders. So guys, if you want to engage with Mirrorverse, please do it through us, because we want to vet the trade leaders. We don't want you following, anybody can become a trade leader on that system. And we want to kind of go through some sort of validation and make sure you're following, our clients are following decent traders. So this is launching now, 1st of October. We are in testing at the moment, and we are starting to put on lead traders on there at the moment. So the sort of stuff that you will get, so we're talking about reporting, we showed you that offshore reporting. You can see they're kind of copying what the offshore guys are doing. So you'll know who your lead trader is. You'll kind of understand what his methodology is, how he trades, statistics, his P&L, his amount of risk, how much trades he does. These sort of metrics will all come through in the data. What we will do over and above that is we will keep this data ourselves, and we will validate this data, because those trading accounts are with us. We will do third-party validation on that, and we will also produce our own stats, just to keep this very honest. And it's literally going to work the same way as the offshore platforms work. So you'll decide that you're going to follow, and that's a very, very bad copy, but you decide to follow this guy, and if you want to at any stage, you click and unfollow him. That's literally how that process works. You can opt in, opt out at any time. And you can follow multiple trade leaders at the same time. The one thing we do say about that, in my opinion, is if you're going to follow multiple trade leaders, you probably want to open up more than one account, because then it becomes accountable. You can measure that account. You can see how each guy's doing rather than have it all aggregated into one. So where do we think, so given this sort of stuff's going to roll out in the next couple of months, where do we think we are positioning our sort of trade leaders? So these are a selection of EAs that we're working on. Some of them you'll recognize are trading systems that we already run. Some of them are portfolios that we already run. So the first one is Robbie Pietropolo, and Robbie's here. So Robbie runs a couple of services for us. He is a trader on our desk, but he is also a technical analyst, and he's been running smart trading for about a year and a half, 2 years, Robbie? So we're formalizing that into a lead trader and into a social trading, and you can auto-execute on smart trading in terms of either eCFDs, CFDs, or single stock futures. Initially, we're going to start off with CFDs. They're just easier. And you can follow Robbie's trades. There you can read about his, clearly I can send you these slides. You can read about his philosophy and how he trades. But really, it's short-term momentum technical trading. Robbie also runs index trading for us, and we are both trading local indexes, and we're trading offshore indexes as well. So those are 3 EAs that we will launch in, well, one of them already exists. 2 more will come very shortly that are run by Robbie. So he's here. You can put a face to it. And if you've ever got any problems, engage with him and tell him his EA is rubbish and he must rewrite it and rebuild it and fix it. So, but very short-term aggressive trading on that one. When I say aggressive, the trade size is not very big. I mean, I think it's 5% money management on it, 5 to 10% per trade. The other one that we're launching is we've taken our hedge fund. We run a multi-strat hedge fund, and we run a long-short hedge fund. And the problem with hedge funds is the entry criteria for clients, for retail clients, is exceptionally high. So what we've done is we've taken the same strategies that we run in our long-short hedge fund, which is run by McKillis and Angelo. who's our hedge fund manager. And what we've done is we've taken that down to a retail level so that you can copy his trades. So this is very much a multi-strat long-short type. So he will have longs and shorts in there. Once again, typically a geared portfolio. And we're calling it Enhanced Alpha. It's the whole purposes of this portfolio is to create alpha for clients. So there is a social or a copy trade where you're copying a hedge fund manager who runs our funds. We're also not scared to bring in experts. So this is Nicole. She runs a service called Needle in the Haystack. She's based out of Pretoria. She runs this trading service for retail and private clients. We engaged with her and said, can we bolt on automated trading to what you already do? And we kind of like the things she says. You know, these are the sort of things that you should look at when you start looking at a trade leader and saying, am I going to follow this person? They must have their own money in the game. So my own money is fully invested in my strategy. That's what we like to see. We want them to have a real account. They must have their own money. So when they're not doing so well, it must hurt them financially as well. They must be able to explain their strategy to you. You know, this is an 80-20. She does mostly 80% fundamentals, 20% technicals. The interesting thing about this is you probably want to diversify across strategies. So Robbie is technical. McKelly is very quantitative, hedge fund type strategy. Nicole is fundamental to a degree. So you kind of want to diversify your trading strategy across different types of strategies. Because if you've got if you follow 10 trade leaders and they all do technicals and they all follow the same head and shoulders, well, then you might as well follow just one of them. Because all you're doing is replicating the same strategy across everybody. Just to show you, and I've specifically color-coded these out because you're not going to get free info. You need to have an account with us if you want this. You can see she can sometimes be very, very active. So this is actually her trade recommendation she put out today. I'm not giving you the levels, but those are the sort of stocks that are on her buy and sell list for this week. And at the moment, this is how she would have operated. She would have sent out an email to her clients. They would have given us the order. We would have put it into the market, or they would have gone onto the trading system themselves and put it in. Now what we will do with her now in the future is she will put them in herself, and as she puts that order in with a certain price entry, stop loss, and take profit, the system will replicate it exactly the same trade into your account for the exact same money management. And we think that's how trading should be. You shouldn't be worried about Excel spreadsheets that are being sent to you and you don't know if you're capturing it in right. So that is the sort of trades that she does. Quite active. You can see if you're someone who wants to buy one stock a year, this is probably not the service for you. This is a service where you're going to get 3, 4, 5 trades a week. It's a very active service.